Hello, hello. How we doing?
We have got a role reversal game because Hannah has already played it, but I have not.
Yeah, so I'm just gonna sit back and I just get to watch. It's really fun.
Yeah. This game won a bunch of awards. Apparently, it's super short. I'm very excited.
Yeah,
All right. You ready?
let's do it. I will preface that I do not remember a lot about this game, so
Okay. Okay.
if I
It's like when I played Nancy with you.
it's like if I seem like I'm like making it up that I don't remember something, I'm not.
I believe you. Okay. I woke in my desk chair. Across from me were his piercing amber eyes. They surprised me at first, but I should have known he'd be there. I stretched and said mid-yawn, not very nice to sneak into a sleeping woman's apartment, but his stare just continued. I cursed the open window. Of course, that's how he'd entered. I hoped to finally rest my eyes a while, but fate often disagrees with me. I knew I didn't have what he wanted. Ooh. Reaching into my coat, I took out my knife and flicked it open. I'm not gonna give it to him. This is. I held the knife steady while staring back at him. Look, I said, nodding towards the desk. That's all there is, take it or leave it. But a detective knows when she's beat, and I knew then. He wanted to search the place, and that's what he would do. I sighed, knowing my weakness for his type. All right, I said, let's look. It's a Kit Kat.
A kitty.
He let out a gleeful meow in victory. I cut a piece of my apple that the cat had rejected. Always the sore winner, I jabbed, but I was smiling too, because I was telling the truth. There was absolutely no other food in my apartment. The cat often dropped by to scavenge. He made a whole lot of noise when he thought I was holding out on him, but right now the place was clean empty, no food anywhere. I had to prove it to him. Kit? The cat had waltzed into my apartment a few years earlier. He kept coming back, though there was rarely a morsel to eat. He'd continue his loud meowing until I proved to him the place was empty of food. Talk? Okay, you can talk to the cat, I see. We've got no food.
No.
He licked his chops and looked at me. Apparently he still didn't believe that. I needed to contradict him somehow, to show him something in the apartment that would prove. I feel like I don't have that evidence yet. Okay. What's this? My old notebook? Ooh, the first half had my old cases. Details from the beats I used to walk in my policewoman days. Of course, policewomen were forbidden from going on patrol, but Lewis often overlooked that. Oh, I can't look at the other stuff? Okay. What's this? A newspaper was flopped on the floor, its headline about the death of Lenin, leader of the Red Menace sweeping Russia. It seemed the Bolsheviks had lost their head. Okay. Ooh. I kept a small statue underneath the side table. It had been police evidence in a crime, and its owner hadn't wanted it back. I took a shine to it, so I snagged it for myself on the way out. Ooh, we smoke.
Naturally.
We roll our own.
Damn. I committed.
Yeah, for real.
It's a lot of effort.
Yeah. That lamp had belonged to my Uncle Louis. He'd been an officer, one who... SFPD. San Francisco, maybe?
I think so, yeah.
One who argued policewomen could be good detectives even while the others jeered at me. I knew he'd been right, but my current workload didn't help that claim. I thought about Louis more often than I wanted. I was lousy at handling the emotions. What is that? Copies of old murder cases. I loved reading through them even though my own contributions were minimal. At that time, I longed for those types of jobs. The truth was, any work was hard to find for a female detective. What time period is this?
I want to say like 50s, but I
It gives a
really don't
50s.
remember. Yeah, I feel like look at that telephone. That's got to be earlier.
Yeah. Yeah. An icebox. Yeah. My income rarely kept much stocked in it, and right now it's empty. The door to the outside world. Okay, all right. I might have enough evidence now. Contradict. But the cat was meowing, or mewing, and needed attention. I had to contradict the cat, but first talking to him, then pointing to a piece of evidence in my notebook that proved the apartment was empty of food. Okay. Evidence. The icebox is empty. Use that. There's no grub or looking cat.
I love how you like rolled his little eyes, like such cat behavior.
Ooh, thoughts of my family filled my head. My sister. My sister Muriel had sent a letter with an update on her life in Chicago. She and her husband had just purchased a new home outside the bluster of the city. Their 3 young children were looking forward to the move. I've never told Muriel, but those letters kept me going. I mostly ignored, gosh. Hearing about my family, however remote, helped me cope with the isolation I was feeling. I had refused to accept it myself back then, but perhaps Muriel had known anyway. My sister had the ordinary lifestyle that I had rejected. I'd wanted to change the world. To bring justice for victims, especially the ones who no longer had a voice. Not that I was helping advance the cause with the types of cases coming my way. My mind spiraled into the usual series of questions. Had I even impacted the women's movement? Women's movement.
Okay. So like 30s?
Yeah,
right?
even earlier. Had I made any change on society at all? Was my plotting career worth losing traditional happiness? What was the point in the life I had chosen? Like we did the Kit Kat. Guess you can scram now. Nobody's going to come knocking with food for you, fella. Oh, that was terrifying. Okay. The cat is psychic. Can you order out? I asked. Oh, this is very cool.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the art style of this. It leaves like enough to the imagination where I feel like you can kind of fill in these people.
Mm-hmm. And the way the door opened in the middle, and then yeah, that was neat. Connor Green. Regrettably, I looked past him. I heard a woman's heels marching down the carpeted stairs, but otherwise the building was silent and empty. He had come alone. Well, ain't you gonna invite me inside? No. Hey now, foul way to treat a customer, Malone. Oh gosh, he's giving creep.
Yeah, like immediately.
Mm-hmm. That was his angle, hiring me as a detective. Oh, God. I wondered what a bootlegger would need with a private eye, but he answered without my prompt. I'll make this quick. I can't take this to the hog house or the pigs would laugh me out. And other dicks just aren't as tempting. Thought this was going to be quick. I said. Okay. It wasn't quick, and I'd already rolled and lighted a second smoke when Green finally finished his story. I noted the important bits in my book. It had started with a letter slipped under his door in a white envelope. The envelope contained a single typewritten leaf, which he handed to me. End your game or we'll end you. Small scribble in the bottom right-hand corner. Okay. How to lead on a new rum running scheme. 20s? Prohibition? A connection from Vancouver. Yeah. He'd given a sample to Tiny Paul, the gangster who ran the Tin Spoon speakeasy for mob boss Jerry Ferry. Green surmised the letter was about him rum running.
1924.
24. He suspected Redstone's Stable, another bootlegger, of sending the letter. Stable ran a barbershop during the day and gave me the address. Who the threat came from? If I go snooping myself, folks see I'm not trusting people. No trust leads to no customers. I need to play it low-key, which is where you come in. Raised an eyebrow and stared at him. He must have noticed my reticence because he said, you know, I worked closely with Lewis. I'm sure he'd want to protect me as much as any other victim. My uncle... After his death, he'd been a man obsessed with helping victims and bringing justice to those beyond salvation. With that ethos, I never understood how he could have taken his own life.
Oops.
Oh, we have our own practice. I see. Would he be worth Lewis's time? He tipped off my uncle in a few cases. I wondered if that was enough to warrant my protection. Before I could think past my headache, he threw a bill in my lap. Keep the Cino as a retainer. And don't worry about getting in touch. I'll find you later for a chat. That's so creepy. Okay. Whenever I lack clarity, a trip to Southern Coffee. Okay. Let's see. I kind of am just curious. Goals. Stuff in our home. New bootlegging scheme. What happens if you click? Oh, okay. Cool.
Yeah, it gives you like a little refresh. That's right.
Yeah. Very helpful. Mounted a gold plate on the outside. Private investigator. We're like, Detective Drake. What was her name?
Francis?
Francie? Francis?
Francis Drake?
Yeah.
Or that's the explorer?
Oh.
I don't remember.
Frankie.
Was it okay?
Right?
Was it Frankie? Okay.
I think. I don't know.
That one really stuck with us.
Yeah. Southern Coffee. Basement dive. Favorite place to down some paint. Let's go. Cute. Thought it was a good way to pass the journey might be to chat. Yeah, sure, why not? My brother was traveling out east last fall, won a couple tickets to a boxing match and a dice game. Wouldn't you know it? It's the Dempsey fight. Okay. Dempsey and Firpo? That was the heavyweight bout of the century. El Toro de las Pampas, he said with an exaggerated bellow. The big bull comes up from Argentina and tries to knock our boy off his game, but good old Jack came back. 80,000 fans. He was behind all of them. Could have seen it clear from a Zeppelin. Hell of a fight to hear over the airwaves, though. You're right, miss. Bout of the century. Okay. Ethel Burgess, the lone waitress, was friendly to help with any inquiry. Of course, if you winked at her right, she'd show you the way to the downstairs toilet. Okay. Had the distinct feeling of home. Oh, okay. Had a bond with that old shaker at the end of the bar. I was surprised he hadn't named it. He could sling a mean drink, though he'd only use the good liquor if he liked you. Let's see. Any of these seats? Is this our seat? Crooked and worn. My usual one was in the center of the room. I could sit on it for hours if Frankie had a yarn to spin. pre-prohibition bottles on the shelf. Oh, interesting. That's why it's Southern coffee now.
Yeah. Wink.
Wink, wink. Fill full your cups. Feel no distress. At all our great thoughts shrinking less, we'll do a good deed nevertheless. Sacramental use only. Go ahead, he said. Give it a swig. All right. A bit spicy, ain't it? It's good. It'll cost you too, he said with a smile and grabbed the bottle from me, turning it over in his hand. Rabbis charge more than a nickel for this beauty. Only this type of Napa wine is made from that Zinfandel grape. It has a unique aroma. Since when do you know about grapes? Some of these grapes are older than you, Malone, and I've known about them since I was a small tot. It's why I'm so good at my job, you know. Too bad more folks can't taste them. That women's league is the devil. Oh. The Women's Christian Temperance Union was now under feminist Frances Willard, a positive force for the suffrage of women, but her staunch support of prohibition, along with the union's massive political clout, irked the very wet San Franciscan public, and she particularly wasn't popular with bartenders. Been a decent pitcher for the Seals a few decades earlier. Sometimes he'd speak wistfully of those days, but his arms were much more used to slinging bottles now. You got the spooks, PC? You're worn as a catcher's mitt. I won $100 for nothing, and I can't let it go. Told Frankie about the case. The story took longer than I'd wanted, Frankie showing genuine interest by asking many questions. When I finished, he threw me the whiskey sour he'd been stirring. Took a large gulp and gave a sigh as thanks. Well, Green's case is better than most of what you're given. At least it's not more of that adultery bunk. Truer, but I started with a goal in mind. What's the point in helping a man like Green? Lawyer or priest, why does it matter? Let me ask you, are the clients you have now the types you want to help? No. I told him that I wanted more from my detecting life. It could be that Green's case shoots your career forward, Malone. Oh, lady on the title screen. She was wearing a light blue cloth hat with a gray ribbon. A scarf of similar blue draped around her neck. I was startled by what she wore under it, a gray trench coat that looked too large for her frame. Maybe our uncle? Yes. Ooh, she hurls insults at me a while. All I could do was sit and take it, until she ran out of gas and started breathing heavily. I set my drink on the bar and looked her in the eyes. It was plain she was a knockout, now that she'd finished shrieking. Beyond the latest blush and lipstick, she had the neutral soft skin and bright eyes perpetually desired by the opposite sex. While I was eyeing her, she caught her breath and restarted the tirade. I'm the wife of that bum who sneaks into your bed. The cat? And he just left your sty this morning. Ah, she's Green's wife. Miss Green, I'm a PI, not a homewrecker, and I don't think your husband in his line of business would want to bed a dick anyhow. Is that like slang for police officer?
I think it is of the times, yeah.
Okay. When they haven't changed very much. Now we call them pigs. A woman in that line of work? I don't believe it. Okay, prove it. Our notebook. Right? Or the paper stack.
It's like older cases, I think. What does Green's letter say?
This could be good.
Yeah.
This is what I do. There's not much more I can show you to prove it. Eventually she came around. She seemed grateful I'd explained it to her. Apparently she had seen her husband leave my apartment, and distraught she had followed me all the way to the basement. I suppose I lost my head after what I thought I'd seen. Frankie, ever chivalrous to a dimpled girl, came around the bar and held her up. Now that's all right, Miss Green. Why don't I hail you a cab and send you on back home? You turn night real quick, he snorted. Aw, hell, we can't have that siren in here. With the torture yelling like that, every street bugger would have come to her rescue. Porch singer? Well, I learned she was a Mrs. Connor Green just now when she came in here. I'd only seen her as Lil Fanny singing lead for the jazz band at the Tin Spoon. Tiny Paul's joint? These names.
I know.
Tiny Paul's joint? That's where Green is selling his liquor. Say, you think that's where she met her husband? You're the real sleuth, Frankie. You're telling me you escorted our little torture out just to avoid a bit of hot water? He flushed and said, What are you talking about, Malone? I was never good with emotions, but it was plain that Frankie had instantly fallen for the girl. So what if I had more to squeeze out of her, I asked. What more could you possibly want from Lil Fanny? Lil Fanny?
Lil Fanny. Tiny Paul.
She can't have anything to do with Green's mess. Oh. I feel like I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to.
I think I don't know if you can, but I can't remember if you hit contradict, if you can like look at the options and then decide not to or not. So maybe in like a low stakes situation, try it just to see. I can't remember.
Maybe she was unrelated to this case. I shrugged and stood up from the bar stool. We're asking for cash. Like, all right.
Why would you think that would work?
Right. That he would just give you money? What's eating you, kid? Oh, interesting. We can ask about stuff. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we can ask people specifically about things. Do you know this? Possible he still knows something about this mess. Okay, I feel like none of this is very helpful. Okay. That's everything, I think.
Alrighty.
So what are you going to do? I'd been thinking about Lil Fanny. I supposed even monsters had people who cared about them, and she'd been wearing Lewis's old jacket, so perhaps Green and Lewis had been closer than I'd realized. I guess I'll take Connor Green's bait, I replied. I've got nothing better on the stove, and he might need the help. Something still stinks, though. Well, what's your plan? The way I see it, I have 3 goals. Find the guy who wrote the letter. I have to learn about Green. Who is he? Dig in his past. How did Green get a connection in bootlegging? What's his source? Okay.
I really
Got
thought my
3
memory
weeks.
would have been jogged by now, but
It's not coming back to you?
Nothing's coming back yet.
That's funny. The bootlegger's stable, who Green claims sent the letter, the Tin Spoon Lounge, where I'll learn about his rum running schemes, and Miss Green, who could give more dirt on her husband. Well, if you're ever stuck, come back and see me. Oh, he's like a hint guy?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, he's basically like your, not your Ned, but your.
Yeah, like Ned, or like Bess, or...
Yeah. Like the Hardy Boys.
The Hardy Boys. Yeah. Okay. I feel like I want to go learn more about Green. Let's go.
Yeah, maybe ask her some more questions. Be like, hey, she could provide some insight.
But the driver kept stifling laughter. The apologist had just got out of a Felix the Cat showing. They're running all of them back to back at the Orpheum. Best time I've spent.
Isn't it like it's like an old cartoon?
I guess so. Can you believe they got Charlie Chaplin and Douglas Fairbanks in a cartoon? Yeah.
Okay.
Cute. Okay. It was a section of an old Western edition mansion. The owners had divided it for struggling families to rent after the 1906 fire. Once downtown had been rebuilt, people of means moved out of the area. Recent immigrants, mainly from Japan, rented most of the apartments in this part of town. Ooh, we're just walking in. I guess we're not the cops.
She's looking distraught.
She looks dead? Reeked of laudanum. Ooh. Oh, our jacket. Looked identical to Lewis's. I searched the pockets and found nothing. Bottles were mostly empty. Train tickets. St. Louis. Oh, but then came the cackling voice of Miss Green. Forget about moving, Connor. I won't budge. Her head was raised, but her eyelids still remained closed. Her head just lolled back to where it had been. Oh, boy.
Out of it.
Ma'am. Overflowing. I want to do her last, I think. Yeah. Okay. Oh. Empty bottles. Opium mixed with booze. Jesus.
Love that.
Hello, Miss Green. She let out a long moan, lifted her head, failed to raise her eyelids. Giggled, and then let it roll back into place. Shook her lightly, and she moaned again, but nothing more.
She's feeling good, I guess.
Okay, well, I guess that's it. Okay, cool. Was a speaky in North Beach run by Tiny Paul, the gangster that Green had put in with. I'd never been there. The mob keeps a tight lip on their own houses, but I figured it would be a good place to chase his story. Journalist in Tennessee. Tried to change the place of my reports. Left as soon as I saw that'd be impossible. Welp. I was a staunch believer in democracy, but my old state's got this lawman, John Butler, that sells snake oil as far as I'm concerned. He wants to outlaw teaching evolution to children. I tried to fight it to show the people he was insane, but it seemed like his law will passed. How does this con man know more than a scientist? That's just one example, but it's damn tyranny of the 51%.
Lol.
Yeah. It's only as smart as the people voting. Sometimes it seems we're all swayed by the loudest talker. Sometimes.
No way.
No way. Seems if a man says it's black and white, he says it with enough gusto, the people will vote to make it so. The public can be a dangerous weapon if you know how to use them. This cab is a dictatorship, and I say you've got to get out now so I can grab another customer. He winked, and I exited. Cute. North Beach Warehouse. Okay. Oh, hello. They just stared, black and held no emotion.
It looks like his eyebrows.
It does. Rumbling voice emerged from behind the door. Fill full your cups. Feel no distress at all. Our great thoughts shrinking less. I looked at the eyes. I understood the doorman wanted a password. Oh, we have this. It was on the wine bottle. No.
Where was it? Bottle.
The bottle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wait here. Quarter of an hour? Jesus. Bar's closed, but you can shoot pool in the upstairs room.
Weird. Okay.
Open the thin wood door to the billiards room. The only light came from the hanging lamps. The haze of cigarette smoke darkened the room's corners. Okay.
Oh, hi, Decoy. Sorry, I didn't see that you were in chat. Hello, hello. Played some Uncharted recently. I don't think I've ever played an Uncharted game, actually.
Oh, really? I haven't never played one, but I've watched, I think, all of them. Jesse played them.
Oh, okay.
Is there a new one out?
I have no idea.
That would be exciting. Tall, broad-shouldered man. It's Tiny Paul. Wait, he's tall?
He's big boy. Okay.
Are you ever gonna take a shot? He stood up straight, rested his key on the table, and looked at me sideways. It was the petulant look of a boy forced to play with his younger sibling. Hello, he sighed.
Oh, Decoys brought it up because of the Francis Drake reference. We were trying to remember there was an old mystery series that we covered on the podcast. And it was like, I think it was Frankie Drake.
Frankie Drake.
I think it was like a Canadian series. We just covered the pilot of it.
Yeah. Yeah, their last name is Drake in Uncharted.
Oh, right. Nathan Drake, right? Isn't that his name?
Mm-hmm. Nathan and Sam. His voice was deep. Apparently, Fairy only hired baritones, but it had no gravel. It echoed slightly around the small room. I imagine he could have huffed and puffed the entire block to rubble. I like watching them, he said, thinking through my options. I'd never shot much pool, but I thought he might like more if I feigned interest. I considered lying to him, telling him that I played a lot.
Pool shark this one.
You think I should lie?
I don't. I do what you want to do. I just think it's funny that it's an option.
I think Stud, blackjack, or bridge? He asked. A gambler plays them all. He continued after crackling his knuckles. But I don't think you're here for a game.
I don't know what's... Is it... I don't know what stud is.
Me either. I don't think I've heard of that. I feel like maybe if we drink, he'll talk about green. I hoped getting Paul's lips wet might make it easier to grab something out of him, but he wasn't having it. Paul sighed. We're closed here. You'll have to come back later.
Damn.
Okay, fine. You like green? You're just like, it don't matter sometimes. I work with what I'm given, and he's giving us a good lead. I suppose that's why you're here, Malone. So he'd known me too. The doorman must have looked me up. The Bay talks fast.
I mean, they had like half hour or whatever before they let you in, so...
Right?
I would have left. There ain't no way I would have just stood out there for an hour.
I know. I'd be like, okay, I guess they're not gonna let me in. Anyhow, you need anything else from me? If you want something, better ask specific. Mobsters never failed to grate my nerves. He wouldn't tell me anything unless I pushed him with what I already knew. Tiny Paul looked at the page and laughed with his whole body. So there's a letter. Green's shaking over that. I'm not losing sleep, though. Look, Green and I aren't best pals, but nobody will touch him with our protection. And none of us sent it to him, or else I would know about it.
Fair enough.
Okay, what about the people he suspects? Heard the name, but while the gossip, he could tell you more about himself. You won't give me anything on him? No, why would I do that? Okay. So you're giving Green the dough? That's right. We gave him the cash to get the supply going. You already gave him the money. Aren't you afraid he's going to run out on you? I suppose you know less than I thought. Well, just to set you straight, that kid's right under my thumb. No way he'd get out of town alive before setting up our source. Maybe... with the pipe she's got built into that body, she's the reason most fellas keep coming back. I don't know if any of this matters to him. Maybe. But if these mobsters thought that Green was about to blow town, they'd be liable to dig him an early grave. I still need to solve my case. Okay, I guess we don't want to show him that. Why can't we ask about fucking laudanum?
Yeah, if you scroll down, is there anything else? That's it?
No, that's it. Anything you want to ask him about?
The empty bottles doesn't refer to the laudanum, it's just the wine.
Oh, maybe, yeah. It's got to do with any of this. Okay.
Alright. Okay, fine. Clearly nothing, I guess. We're just...
Yeah, I guess we're done. Okay. All right. Bye. Green had suspected Redstone Sable. He owned a barbershop in the financial district. Airships. You hear about this Zeppelin fella? The crazy German thinks he can run transatlantic flights. The Allies won't let him build any dirigibles now. But I say, give the man a shot.
Dirigible's such a good word.
He saw airships as the travel of the future. My head was in the clouds when I stepped out. That is a fun word. What does it mean?
It's like another word for a zeppelin. It's like a but I don't think it necessarily is restricted to zeppelins. It's like flying contraptions.
Okay. Why'd we stop using that?
Or air. It's a dirigible or airship is a powered, steerable, lighter than air aircraft that uses gas or helium to fly.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Fraser & Co. Furnishings. Modern? Always seemed ostentatious to me. Fable's cabinet. Okay, hello. Pink suit with a maroon bow tie and pocket square. I must apologize. We do not take walk-ins. The wrinkles around his eyes indicated he was at least 40, but the rest of his skin was clean and smooth. When combined with the smooth skin, it hinted at the look of a small turtle. Pink suit and maroon accessories only added to his eccentricity. How foolish of me. Of course, you are here for information, Miss Malone. Wow. How do you know my name? That is a dull retort. You know you are not a standard detective. Please do not act as mundane as all the other sleuths. Okay. Yet perhaps you're here on a matter of interest. What is it you want? Fine. We're just gonna be straight up.
Right. It's like, all right, well, we'll just come out with it.
Green tells me this letter is from you. He doesn't like the threats. He chuckled, knowing Green returned to his face. But this is a Blackhand letter, he said, flourishing a hand towards the paper. Have you ever seen a Blackhand letter, Miss Malone? No. Exactly. You should ring your friend Shipman at the station and ask what it means. Sam Shipman had been
so like unsettling to me. I don't know what it.
100%. With the eyebrows too.
Yeah.
He'd been one of my uncle's regular partners in the vice rackets. I wondered what Shipman could have to do with Green's case. Stable seemed to think that he had a lot to do with it. Pocketed the letter. Anything else? Yes, probably. Green claims you bootleg. His grin didn't waver. Would you hang me on Connor Green's claims? I may partake in some gambling, and I may have a talent for it, but it is nothing illegal, I assure you. He shook his head. Yeah, you're not gonna get a straight answer. Oh, okay. What do you know about her? Okay, nothing. Okay. Can we ask him about like stuff in his own?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. I can't see a barber making enough for all this. Yes, I have other methods of procuring wealth, but I do not engage in illicit activities, if that is your implication.
Of course you.
Of course.
Nobody does. Who would do such a thing?
Maybe. Why not give me a cut? I don't see any clients around. I'm sorry, Miss Malone. To be completely honest, my gambling and business acumen give me a decent living on their own. The barbershop is a hobby, and I only give haircuts to close friends.
Right.
It's a front.
Yeah.
I never claim not having detective friends, just not the private variety. That was him saying he's dirty.
Yeah.
Feel like... Okay. What do you think? Good?
Yeah, I think. Yeah. I don't think there's anything else with him. I think you can always come back to these people too, like when you find stuff out. Well, at least most of the time you can.
All right, let's go to the police station.
Where all his buddies are.
Yeah. Hear the latest about Shoeless Joe? Gave an interview in Milwaukee. Still says he's innocent. What a racket. Shoeless Joe Jackson was one of baseball's all-time greatest players, but in 1919 he was part of the White Sox team that had been accused of intentionally losing the World Series, fixing the match for East Coast gamblers like Arnold Rothstein. The scandal's magnitude was so enormous that every American was gripped by the reports in the newspaper, whether they were fans of baseball or not.
That is kind of crazy.
That is crazy. Although the team had been acquitted in public trial, baseball insiders still claim the fix had been real. 8 White Sox players, including Shoeless Joe, was forever banned by the league. Throughout the ordeal, Joe had maintained his innocence, and he was suing his former team for back pay that he hadn't received after being banned. It is like though I now work at a baseball field, and I see like posters in the clubhouse that like baseball players don't bet on games.
Right.
Most baseball fans prefer to think of themselves as insiders, and since insiders thought Shoeless Joe was guilty, so did they. Lawsuit starts in a few days, the driver rambled on. Can't believe the guile on this one, thinks he can ruin a sport, profit from it, then sue the league? Why, I hope one of the lawyers socks him in the jaw. Also poetically baptized the Hall of Justice. Dominated the corner of Kearny and Washington and Chinatown. Okay. A new girl at the desk. I asked for Shipman and she motioned me to a chair and she pressed a pearl button. I sat down and she disappeared. I thought...
Another cigarette.
I know, it's like every screen.
It's crazy. What a time.
Yeah. My history. I imagine the station captain would have been furious had he known I was there. I did, after all, break a tumbler with the help of another officer's temple. Oof. It wasn't long before Shipman walked out. He'd always been helpful. Working closely with Lewis, he'd acquired the habit of bouncing theories my way. He judged officers purely on results, and because of that, he was one of my few fans. Wouldn't come here for a glad handing. A glad handing? He had a habit of removing the subject from his sentences. What needs doing? Working for that pinhead? Got a good mind to run him up a flagpole. I just need to know about this letter. Complete bunk, he said. See the symbol in the corner? Mark of the Black Hand Gang. Except Black Hand letters are always ransom letters, not threats. No foothold of this coast anyhow. On this coast anyhow. Never been one in California.
Interesting. Okay.
It's a copycat?
Yeah.
Someone's trying to imitate them? Don't know if Green is getting one over on you, or if someone else is pulling Green's leg, but having more dirt on the man couldn't hurt, especially if he's your client. I've been trying to dig through his past. You got any bunk on him? No, from Oakland is all I know, but I can do some more digging. Under a pile of ice, though, might take a while. Why don't I telephone when I find something? Call Southern Coffee. We have a phone in our house.
No, yeah, that's true.
Just leave anything with Franklin Conway. Okay. Now that I knew the letter was fake and Shipman was looking into Green's past for me, I just needed to chase up the bootlegging lead. Stepped into the street and thought about where to go. Okay, well, who told us about the Black Hand? It was
Paul?
Paul, Tiny Paul. I feel like we go talk to him. I do really have to potty though, so can we take a short break?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, thank you.
We will be right back. Hello, we're back.
We're back. Thank you. I feel better. Okay.
Good.
Not a teenager, but not far off. Don't much like driving taxi cabs? No, lady, I like it right enough. Just some bozo for you were in here giving me hell because I look like the boy his daughter's going out with. Went off about how my generation was ruining America. That scumbag don't know jack.
It's not unfamiliar.
Yeah. I'm no genius, but you talk to anyone from the last century, they'll tear off your ear for just being young. How'd they get so high, I wonder, given the world in the 1890s, like a smooth-running roadster? Then what'd they do? Bash it on every curb in sight. Their greed, their war, their politics. Now they give us a ruined clunker and they're mad at our manners when we grab the keys. Yeah, totally.
Feels like a disgruntled millennial wrote this.
The Great War was the hardest fought at home and abroad. The old men who put us there had some nerve. And after those years, they tell us to get in line. It's a bum deal to me, sister. We're in the information age, and the news of the world is crap. They're just angry we can't see their folly. I think the overarching point is not that much has changed.
Yeah.
Ever. It's all the same, just repeated in different ways. Anyhow, thanks for letting me blow off steam. Have a nice day, miss. Hey. I was wondering. This is fake. So somebody's goofing Green? Or maybe Green's just toying with you. Oh, that's it? Look
Yeah,
at
that's
his teeth.
disappointing. I know. It's like, I think everybody's mouth looks a little unsettling when they show their teeth in this game.
Yeah. Okay, I want to ask him, I guess, about his... Becoming learned. Asked about a poem. Why make an old liquor slogan your password? An old liquor slogan, that's rich, and here I thought you dicks were supposed to be learned. It's called The Drinking Song, a poem by Thomas Hardy, an old Brit. It's all about man thinking we're on the top of the chain and slowly understanding we aren't. All our thoughts, all our theories amount to nothing. We're just apes floating in the wide ocean of space. How can you possibly cope with that? How do we even know what we are now? But to hell with it. Take your mind off it, have a drink, and do something good. Not a bad code, if you ask me. Alright, that's enough of a lesson. Is there something else you wanted? No, can I? No. I want to ask you about everything. Okay, maybe not. Only gives friends haircuts. Didn't let anything slip. What about... Does he give you haircuts? No.
Haircuts in quotation mark.
Yeah. Okay, well, heck.
Okay, enter the tinspoon correct password. Could try going back to their house and see if she's like less dopey.
Yeah.
Or maybe we can look around more.
I also feel like telling him it's a fake. Okay, we're gonna see what he says and then we're gonna go back.
Yeah, this game kind of works like contradiction a little bit. Where you
Yeah. lovely land in Colorado. There's always fog and dampness, a cold, brutal dampness. Sure, the Rockies can get cold, but the sun shines most days. Working outside in winter, you'll drip sweat, even in shirt sleeves. No politicians are clean, but at least they're not bigots. Colorado's ruled by Klan puppets, and those goons are turning to federal politics now. A day of reckoning is coming with the KKK and our politics. I just hope sanity wins. Hey. Yeah, this letter is fake. Yes, Miss Malone, that I told you. He told me? What do you mean you told me?
He said that was a Black Hand letter, but...
Right.
What about notes? Go to your notes. I thought he told us... Oh, that's a Black Hand letter, but...
He did too. Okay. Alright.
Okay. I think I got my guys mixed up.
Yeah, me too.
Did we search the house?
Yeah, I thought so. Oh, you mean like more than just that room?
Yeah, there might have been more. I don't know. I genuinely don't remember. If you click that door on the left, does anything happen? Or is that how you leave?
This is how we leave. No, she's still... Oh. No, right, I did. Yeah, I think we got everything.
Dang, okay.
And you're still... Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Maybe we go back to Southern Coffee?
Yeah. Let's see what he has to say, and then... Shipman said he saw calls from Coffee. Oh, you can go and see if you have any messages, it says, so...
Okay. Hey. I can't send any messages. Any messages? What do you mean by that? Well, I sold Sam Shipman an old contact on the force to leave any dirt with you if you'd found it. So now I'm your bartender and your secretary. Say, if I become your housemaid, will you at least pay me? Nothing yet. What have you got so far? No real breaks. I don't know. Is this like...
So Sam Shipman's the dude at the police office, right? He's
Yes.
like our old contact. He's the one who told us the letter was a fake.
Yeah, I know.
And then...
But that guy at Redstone was like, oh yeah, I already told you that. Like, no, you didn't.
Liar.
You said it was real.
What understatements? What does it say?
He doesn't even have anything on there.
Unknown my name, claims he doesn't bootleg, only gives friends haircuts. Claims he doesn't bootleg. Is there anything under evidence that just, like, contradicts that?
I mean, his super nice shit.
Well, yeah.
It didn't give me the option to contradict, though. Did it?
I don't think so.
I don't think so there. Do you remember if talking to this guy, is like just for hints or if it's necessary to like learn more information.
I kind of think it's a hint system. I'm gonna check though to be sure.
Okay.
Did we talk to the guy at the barbershop about the picture frame?
The picture frame.
Like there's a picture frame in his salon or in his barbershop. Is that in our notes anywhere?
No, I don't think so. Let's go look. I think I'm only gonna talk to the cat people when we're like not going back and forth and back and forth.
Yeah.
Maybe I haven't even looked at it. Authentic smile and held scissors. Okay, let's see. How do you... Who is that? There she is. No, that is my grandfather, taken near the end of his life. This store was formerly owned by my grandfather. He started with humble beginnings. My Zaid taught me the meaning of hard work and dedication. I am humbled by reminders of him. Okay.
Okay.
What about the mirror? Perhaps. But the mirror also belonged to my Zaid, and I enjoy any reminders of him. He refused to elaborate on his grandfather. Now I feel like I should ask him about everything. Wasn't ready to admit where his wealth had come from. Uh-huh. Can't remember. Mirror cabinet. I think this is the... Okay.
Did we talk to Tiny Paul about everything too?
About everything in his... I don't think so. It didn't seem relevant, but you're right, I should do that. The Red Menace. Fine, you don't want to talk about everything. All right. Oh, whoops. Oh. Strange device. A rectangular mirror.
What?
See how I can see you? I can also see the bull behind us. It's called a cop spotter. Oh my god. Works pretty well for knowing when to bend the law. Might be a good tool for bootleggers, I offered. Yes, it might be. Okay. We talked about the password, we talked about that, we talked about that. What about the cue lamps? Okay. The chairs. Nope. In the wine bottle. A sample from Green's source. Well, that one's from Vancouver. Where's the wine from, Paul? It's from Vancouver. Frankie had told me that only Napa grapes had this type of spice. If Paul didn't know this bottle was local, I wasn't going to tell him. I had to confirm with Frankie, but if my hunch was on the money, then Connor Green was not getting his wine from Canada, and he wasn't paying square with Tiny Paul. Playing square. Uh-oh.
Busted.
Yeah. I mean, that might be enough to get a death threat.
Yeah.
And we're not going to talk to him about it, so I guess...
I think it said on the walkthrough that once you've talked to him about the wine, if you go back to Frankie's, you should have had a call from Shipman.
Okay. Heyo. Okay. Well, let me ask him. Oh, yeah, okay. Remember that wine you offered me? Where did you see that grape was from? California. That's the only place they grow these grapes nowadays. Not Canada? Tiny Paul had a bottle of wine that tasted the exact same, that identical spice. He said it was from Green's bootlegging source from Vancouver. Loon, I'm telling you, no wine anywhere else in the world has that spice. It ain't from Vancouver, and Green ain't getting it cheap. Well, you just confirmed my hunch. Green's got no source. He must be swindling Tiny Paul and the entire fairy gang, and I bet he'll run away with the money. Okay. Hey, Shipman. PC! Then why'd you call? That's the idea. First got pinched from a brawl in the ferry building. That was in November 1920. Before that, no Connor Green anywhere around the bay. Strange. Has trouble staying out of the mess, mixed up in something nearly every week, so only appearing a few years ago? That Oakland backstory is Swiss cheese. Guess that he just got here in 1920 and never been straight about where he's from. If Connor Green was a criminal in another town, easily some cop would recognize that name and send him back home. We aren't that thick. Right. If it's the same name, could be his real identity disappeared in another town.
Right.
He might have changed lives. Is there any way to confirm that? If Green fled, the local bulls would keep looking for him, but not if they thought he died. Get these cases sometime where mobsters fake a death to escape a burg. Use a mangled stiff to do it, someone unrecognizable, that way they can get out of town without a chase.
Classic.
A ton of deaths, too many to look through, but narrow the search for me. A town where he might be from. I could check a specific city's archive.
Ah, okay.
Oh, okay, maybe the tickets?
Yeah, maybe he's going home.
Yeah, tickets to Sam. The missus was ruffled when I picked them up. Okay, he went to look. Lucky break. Seems there's one that fits the bill. Okay. Gun battle at June's Diner. Gangster dead. Suspected bandit clubhouse scene of another shooting. A heated argument turned deadly Thursday as multiple shots rang inside June's Diner on 14th Street. Suspected hideout of Egan's Rats. A man was found dead at the scene, unidentified due to shotgun wounds to his face. Police suspect he is mobster Bragg, the Jester, who had hired a private eye to investigate threats on his life. Oh my god.
Whoa.
He's gonna do it again. He's gonna do it again!
He's gonna leave.
Wow. Last month, Chief of Police Brandon said investigating gangster on gangster deaths was a waste of time, and the discovery of the threats lends many to believe police won't look further into the case. Hold on. He hired a PI? Seems police are quick to forget a case, even if they got a reason to think it's just gangster violence. Gets better. Briggs' first name, Connor.
Shit.
And your story says this Braggs was deeply indebted, so maybe Green's just waiting in San Francisco until he's got enough dough to skip town and go home.
Let me just piss off every criminal in San Francisco and then dip.
Like, the police might stop looking for you, but they won't.
Yeah.
He have some bootlegging business? Why would he leave that behind? No. His wine is complete bunk. It's local stuff, not any Canadian route he might be claiming. I didn't know why he'd pull a fast one until now.
Bum, bum, bum.
Swing by the station, we'll iron it all out. I agreed and slammed the receiver on its pegs. Wow, okay. To the station.
He's on to you.
I'm like, can we trust this guy? Because he keeps being like, hey, what's going on?
Yeah, he keeps asking for all the details. We're like, it's actually not
And
your
then
business.
we give him all the details.
It's actually none of your business.
Yeah. But he's been here a while, Malone. Sure, but only since 1920. He couldn't pay off his debts in Missouri, so he faked his death and moved to San Francisco. He's been longing to go back, but he needs a way to settle his score before he can show his face again. Green set up a sham rum running scheme. He bought local wine, but claimed to get it at lower prices from Canada. He convinced Tiny Paul to front him a heap of cash for it. Instead of providing the wine, he's planning to skip town with Paul's money, disappearing to St. Louis with enough debt or dough to pay back his debts. Right. He's already faked his death once, so he'll do it again here. That's right. His plan is similar to his last one. Hire a detective claiming he's scared for his life, fake his death, then he'll know the police won't bother with underground violence. Hired us as a cover. I'm going to see Shipman now. I'll sweep away this mess, then come back and see you. Have a drink ready. Be careful.
Egan's rats.
Finally caught my break, but it was a dud. I hadn't realized it, but I had been reveling in real detective work. Once I learned it was all bunk, my mind reverted to its incessant nagging. I wondered if I was just a puppet to some two-bit mobster. I was hardly bringing much justice to anybody, which made me unsure of what exactly it was that I was doing. It all came back to the same basic premise. You're failing. Oh, baby girl.
It's gonna be okay.
You are failing. Oh no. Everything turned to black. My naked arms faded into view. To my fingers, it appeared in the distance. I could hardly see, but as the object billowed, a clarity came to me. Then I understood. Lewis's gray coat. Okay. Oh no. When I saw the needles, glass. Shards falling all around me. One piece wedged itself deep in my right elbow. I grimaced, but I was unable to make any noise or movements. Suddenly, as the rain had started, it stopped. I looked upward with caution, wary of the rain's return, but above me I saw the gray coat. It was no longer billowing, it was rigid. It started falling. came upon me and enveloped me completely. It was suffocating. I couldn't breathe. I let out a gasp. Oh boy.
It's so jarring.
And then the light. It pierced my eye sockets, hitting the back of my skull like a hammer on an anvil. I directed all my energy into my lungs and forced out a yell. That helped. Everything became quiet. I could breathe deeply. I noticed someone beside me. Oh, hey. Thought you'd never come around. What happened? Relax, just a few scratches. Quite the auto crash. Flew straight through the front window. Holy shit. I remembered none of that. Shimon removed a flask from his pocket. Not the best hooch, but might get rid of that banging in your head. Okay. Moonshine. Hang on to it. Might need another swig after what I'm about to tell you. About Green's case, the two of us figured he was going to fake his own death. That ain't happening. Last night, Connor Green was shot through the heart twice.
Was his body identifiable?
For real. Whoa there. Look, been here with you all night. In that chair beside the bed. Just telephoned the station to check in, and that's the rap they gave me. Told them what I'd known from you, and they said they'd chase it up. How do you know it was him? Faking your death involves a mangled body. Shot through the chest, his face is still intact. Whatever Green was planning on doing, he didn't get that far. He doesn't have a twin. Good night, Green. Green hired you for this case. Gives you every right to follow it up if you want. That said, he was likely taking you for a ride. Wouldn't blame you if you want to drop it. But I'd like your help. You know the case. Could use your head, even if it's a little bumped. Once you're feeling better, I'll be at the station. It was wife. Kitty! Why can't I pet the kitty? Yeah, okay. These are all the same. Okay, well, I guess we just immediately leave.
Yeah, we're totally fine to just head out into the world.
Okay. I resolved to find his killer. You don't think I wanted to? Oh, Miss Green is there, bawling her eyes out.
Interesting. She came to.
What happened? I told her I knew as little about the matter as she did, but that I was looking into it, and I was sure the officers were doing their best. She begged me to help. Promised I would try. Okay, maybe don't take a bunch of laudanum though, so we can actually talk to you. Fred Grant. Grant was another investigator. Ugh, I already don't like you. I suppose that was an appropriate look for a man who enjoyed his bribes in liquid form. He had never been a supporter of policewomen, and he was no fan of mine.
Great.
The widow seemed pretty torn up about him. You really helping her out? I'm not telling you shit. You take bribes? Well, all right. If you ain't going to talk, then I should be on my way. Last thing I gotta do is head to the tin spoon, then toss this in the freezer. That meant he was about to close the case cold. He smiled as though he was glad to do it. You aren't chasing it up? We got more to deal with than some dead gangster. The captain don't care about crap like this, so long as it's not spreading too far. And what about the girl? What does she expect? This broad, goes and marries an Irishman. Probably killed by one of his own, or some dago? Is that offensive? I'm sorry. All those bums run together.
Yeah, I don't know what that term means. Actually.
Yeah. Look, if the missus wants you on this, that's her gamble, but it ain't gonna lead you nowhere, and don't expect support from the boys. If you get a confession, we'll cop him. Not something the DA can thumb his nose at either. They gotta admit 3 things. Means, opportunity, motive. Okay. We'll get right behind you. Maybe it's his wife. Also, the guy at the hair salon was very suspicious.
He was like uber suspicious, yeah.
Totally suspicious. Or it's the bartender at our favorite bar, which I hope is not the case, but that'd be a good twist.
That would be very like murder mystery.
What have you found? Not in any way related to Green. Piled under the trash now. Nobody's looking into Green's case here. Not that the case is dead, but Captain has no one on it. Even Grant's coming off as soon as he can. We're underwater with other bunk. Department still did the regular foxtrot. Inside a folder, black and white photographs of Green's face. Muscles relaxed and eyes closed. It looked almost normal, apart from his flattened hat behind his head. And the dirt and grass behind that. Green died at midnight the previous night. Green was killed with 2 .45 caliber bullets to the chest. Green was found this morning lying in Washington Square Park. It was only a block away from the tin spoon. All we got. Can pinch the gunman if you can prove the case, but you gotta solve it without much support. Don't have time to help either. No point coming back here until you've got your man. At least I'm doing something. But listen, we need a confession on this one. Captain doesn't want to run around. Shit, alright. Grant mentioned they'd have to admit on how, why, and when. Never been on a murder before, right? Can get tense. Just know, if you accuse someone but can't prove everything, they'll turn like a switch. Might like you one minute, but hate you the next. Chatting with folks is your easiest route to more information, but won't get any banter after you accuse someone of murder. So be careful who you accuse. Could make your case harder if you go the wrong way. Alright. Plenty of lies out there, but you can contradict means, motive, and opportunity with anything in your notes. Boy. Okay. I say we go talk to her first.
Yeah.
Miss Malone, I'm just frightened about people knocking at my door. After what happened to my husband, everything feels so cold. Oh, I'm blabbering. Please come inside.
Right, yeah, like, they killed him, but, like, was that enough revenge for them? Are they gonna be coming for her?
Right. And she's got to know about his past.
Mm-hmm.
So she's not completely sober. Have you found anything about my husband's killer? Not really. Ask her some questions. Oh my god, accuse her. No.
It's just like right there, right away, like, here you go.
Yeah, what if you accidentally click it? Okay, I feel like I kind of just want to go down the list with her, so... what about his bootlegging? I know, the police told me the details this morning, that Connor had gotten a letter that he had begun bootlegging again, and that he thought a man named Redstone Staple was after him for it. Okay. Oh, well, I guess this will be the same thing. Okay.
Maybe ask about Stable claiming he doesn't bootleg.
Okay.
Okay, I didn't know she'd ever heard his name or something.
I want to know how she got our coat. Connor brought it home one day. It was too small for his frame, but I thought it looked swell on me. Maybe about her following her husband that day? Well, I had heard rumors that Connor might have been unfaithful. I discovered they were baseless, but a wife never truly knows. Do you like singing? Wondered how. Well, Papa never liked the petting parties, or the liquor, or the young men in roadsters, but he never made a fuss about it, not until I started to sing. That's enough to get a girl disowned. I suppose I was a teenage prima donna looking for attention.
I hate the term petting party. The hell is that? I don't remember that, and I hate it. I hate that.
I'm a stern Miss Malone, the only child of Abraham and Elise. My maternal grandmother was Frances Strauss, sister of Levi. He now owns a full quarter of the Levi Strauss Company. And you're wondering how I came to this? Well, I traded wealth for freedom at a young age, and I would do it again. Do you get haircuts by this guy?
Okay.
Okay, yeah, I feel like all of these. Oh, really? What? That's crazy. Hey, your husband was selling bunk wine.
She said, I don't know. That's none of my business.
Okay. The Blackhand letter wasn't real. So who wrote it? I told her I thought her husband had written the letter and that I thought his bootlegging scheme was a bust. She sighed. I don't know about his dealings, Malone. It seemed your husband was from St. Louis. She squirmed. He told me he was from out east, though he lied to everyone else. He claimed he had to flee from his past. I never asked the details, so that's all I know, and you're the first person I've told. He also had 2 train tickets to go there. Well, those tickets have no date printed on them. He was thinking of going back there. I guess whatever trouble he had was blowing over. But I refused. I told him I wanted to stay in San Francisco. Whenever Connor and I quarreled, well, he kept them around to brandish, to show me that he loved me and that he stayed here only for me.
Wonderful.
Yeah. Yeah, okay. Same thing. So I just need to place everyone. Let's see. I was singing with the band, the show ending at about 10. Then we went up into the billiard hall. It haunts me that Connor was so close when he was killed, but none of us heard anything with how loud it was. How late? Until early in the morning, say 2 or 3? Oh my gosh, can I contradict that? I feel like I don't have evidence yet.
In the pool room. Yeah, I don't remember anybody mentioning that.
Maybe once we go talk to people later.
Yeah.
Do you have a gun? Okay, apparently not. This is probably similar. Okay. Let's see. So we did all that. What about... Hey, so you take laudanum?
How you doing?
It's hard for a working girl, you understand.
Sure.
Sometimes the vocal cords need a little lubrication. Oops. I feel like I learned my lesson that I have to ask about everything, though. Hey, I can't keep plants alive either. Okay, yellow chrysanthemums. That might come back, maybe. Okay. All right.
Well, we just got a lot out of her. Learned a lot.
Wait, so he died yesterday?
Yeah, I guess we were out from the car accident.
She was like passed out in the chair, high as a kite. Would she have been singing at all, or do we just assume she like woke up from that and went to sing?
That's a good point. You can try and contradict her about it just to see what she said. She might just have an excuse or something. But
Yeah, okay. So her empty bottles. Yeah. Okay. Okay, all right. I guess she got up and went to...
I guess so. She did say it loosens up the vocal cords. Like, all right.
Okay. I feel like it's all the same, probably. Oh, the coat's gone. There's a man's hat. Can I ask her about that? Hmm. He may have had more than one hat. But it wasn't there yesterday. Hmm. You having an affair?
I wonder if she's having. This is genuinely me like not remembering the plot. I'm like,
You
is
don't
she
remember
having an
anything.
affair with the barbershop guy?
Ooh.
I'm like, who? Like, I'm trying to remember, and I guess it's just like I guess this. I remember one specific scene from this, and that's kind of I think all that stuck with me.
Interesting. Okay.
I don't know that it's like even that crazy of a scene. I just for whatever reason.
Do you remember who did it?
No. Nope. But frankly, I feel like there's some Nancy games we could go back and play, and I'd be like, I don't remember who the culprit is.
Totally.
It's just like a brand new game.
Fucking Fred Grant is here. All loose ends tied up. Through the doorman in the back of the wagon. He says nobody came in or out from the upstairs billiards hall last night. Interesting. So she's lying.
Yeah.
You know, I believe him, but the bulls need someone to work on, and putting welts on this goon will make the afternoon go faster. Great, love that. You're so corrupt as he's drunk.
Mm-hmm.
In prohibition era.
Well, I guess we can go ask her about that now and be like, well, he says you were not there.
Yeah. Only Tiny Paul had been replaced by a young woman? Oh, so poker. All right. Hey, yo. Early 20s, holding back tears. Hi. She managed to stop it before any tears could come through. It's that copper who was just in here. First he asked about green. Then what? What do you think? He kept wanting me to feed him drinks, and the more I put in him, the more fresh he got with me. Totally. He's a terrible person.
Yeah.
It's not your fault. All men are brutes, but I can't exactly slip away from a copper. Anyhow, I'm just frantic because of the booze. I'm sure it'll wear off. She was putting up a strong mask, but I could tell something about Grant's interaction had rattled her. The truth is, most women wear a mask in public. Almost every one of us has a story about being mistreated. I'm sorry, I'm Ella Smith. I work nights as a backing singer here. I had to pump her for information. Why are we putting it like that? So you know Miss Green?
Getting
Oh,
a
okay.
little choppy. I don't know why. On my end, I don't think there's anything you can do about it. But sorry,
Okay.
I just wanted to acknowledge it.
Do we want to...
It's weird. Your audio's coming through fine for me, but the game audio is like skipping and choppy a little bit. I would just press on. I don't think there's much we can
do about it. Okay. I would say I could turn it down so it's less in your face, but there's no option for that.
Yeah, there's literally no audio settings for this game. I don't think it's all that loud. It's just yeah. I wouldn't worry about it.
Okay, let's see. Do you know about this letter? Okay. Did you know that he was bootlegging? Well, I don't know what they're doing, and I don't care. That's fair.
Yeah, I'd be like, please don't even ask me.
Did you know that he might be cheating with somebody? Okay. Thought maybe it was her.
Yeah.
Hmm. Um. All right, where were you? Midnight was the time I sang all by myself to the crowd. Well, last New Year's Eve at exactly midnight, me and Lil Fanny, you know, our lead, did a swell duet for the boys. They wanted to hear it again, but she wasn't around to sing it, so I did it alone. She wasn't around, huh? Maybe she was in the toilets? I didn't go looking for her. Look, I never get to sing lead. They don't like us Chinese girls doing that, so I took my chance. How could I turn it down? Well, anyhow, after that song is when I really downed some gin. I didn't much like it, but they said it was good for me, and I was riding high with everyone watching. I don't remember much after that. Oh no.
Oof.
Okay.
So again, she was in here at midnight. Other lady was not.
Yeah, so other lady's definitely lying. Do you have a gun? Miss, I'm just a private detective looking into the murder. I need to follow up with everyone. I don't know if you know this, but well, this place is a type of gangster hideout. No one in the band has shooters, of course, but just about everybody else in the building is carrying something.
So what about you?
Yeah, you don't carry a gun? Nope, no shooters in the band. Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
But he was found nearby. Okay. Did you know he's a fraud? She doesn't care. Hmm. Wait, what does that say? According to the doorman who told Grant, nobody had come in or gone out of the billiards room around the time Green had been murdered.
But that's
So that's contradiction for the other lady, not her.
Is the billiards room where she sings?
Well, I didn't think so, but then she said I was here all night, and I assume that means the billiards room.
Okay.
So I guess so.
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, do you know she does really hard drugs? No.
No? Okay.
Cards? Are they the same ones the boys were playing with last night? Okay. Where's Paul? He's likely as tired as I am. After the band finished downstairs, we all came up to play poker. Paul and the boys were at it the entire night, so I assumed he's at home. No, Paul and I aren't close. Aren't close. Interesting, we can contradict that.
I don't remember him mentioning anything specific or her mentioning him earlier or anything.
Okay. maybe ask her about this. Okay. She wasn't in the pool hall at midnight. I guess I am also a little confused by the lounge versus the billiards room.
Right, like there's the Tin Spoon as an establishment, but the pool hall is like a specific part of it. Nobody threw pool hall entrance last night.
Okay. Well, regardless, I think we can go back to Fanny. There were 2 aces of hearts.
Somebody was cheating.
Okay. What does that mean?
Someone was cheating.
Oh. Interesting. Hey, Miss Ma'am. So, this one. Nobody through the pool hall entrance. Wait, what?
What are we missing? What are we not understanding?
I don't.
We're going to the
Why is this confusing?
Maybe this is not last night. This was the night before. Like he was murdered the night before. But they're all telling us about where they were last night. But like, I don't know. It doesn't make sense to me. Does it say in our case summary anywhere, like specifically when he was killed?
It says he died at midnight. Okay. Claims you left the upstairs room before midnight. It's not true. I was there the entire evening. She seems quite sure. She sang to the drunken boys without you there. Says nobody leaves the upstairs room. You're doing your own digging?
Yeah.
I just... no confidence. Anyhow, if nobody came from upstairs, that eliminates anyone in the pool room. I must have been in the restroom if Ella is certain I wasn't with them at that exact time, because I could not have been outside.
Okay, I don't know that we have anything to contradict that specifically.
Yeah. We need proof you were outside. Okay, well... Gangsters keep a close eye on their gun. Okay, we're gonna find the band with guns somehow.
Yeah.
Okay. Guess this is the only new thing. All right.
Okay.
Economics. Type of student who had yet to discover that he was not the foremost expert on any topic, and he disseminated European politics as though he were preaching unquestionable gospel. Yeah, thanks.
It's like a nightmare Uber.
Yep.
The last Uber I was in, literally the words, "Notice how nobody talks about global warming anymore?" And I was like, get me out of here. Because it was a really particularly cold day, and I was like, oh no.
He's wearing a barber's cape, which told me he was here for a haircut.
Yeah, why did he just walk away?
Swell indeed, thank you, miss. Its words came out as jovial as his expression, and they held a slight and affable southern tint. A few more pleasantries returned equally verbose responses with no meat to them. Who are you? I'm merely a mortal man enjoying my life at this very moment. Okay, bro.
All right, sir.
I heaved a sigh. He frowned. I am merely paying a compliment. You modern girls get your stockings all knotted whenever someone calls you pretty. Oh, is that what was happening?
It did not seem like that's what was happening.
I asked again, who are you? My name is Ray Carter, regular jazz bassist at the Tin Spoon Lounge. Do you have a gun, sir?
Oh, do you carry a gun? He's gonna be like, yeah, we all have guns. Why wouldn't we?
Yeah. Were you there? Until early morning. I happened to be winning a nice bucket of change at the poker table. Just about everyone was saying they never saw someone play cards so well. But I suppose you don't gamble either. No, but did you see the other women? He plainly disliked my demeanor. Yeah. And are you some sort of continental operative? When I nodded, he let out a whistle and said, a woman detective? Well, that is almost as swell a sight as a black man in a white man's barber's chair. Wait. Oh, he's a black man. Okay. I was like, I don't understand. No, I get it. Okay. Hey, y'all got guns? I gots to know. A black man with a cannon? Miss, if I held one in the Tin Spoon, I would lose more than my job. Much, much more than my job. Those boys do not treat me like they do you, pretty lady. I do not carry one, nor do I know where to get one. Man, we can contradict all of them with that. Where were you? Playing poker? All night with the band. Yeah, okay, yeah. But he was close by. Okay.
Yeah, maybe ask about her.
Yeah. I remember her being there at the beginning and the end of the night, but I not keep track of everyone every time. Okay. Everyone else had guns. Okay. So you're friends with Redstone? What? That's crazy. You're getting a haircut from him.
He only gives. Man, that's steel trap.
Okay. You know her. What? Mm. Okay. Do you know anything about his letter?
Right.
Should I ask any of these?
Gave green cash. Got others watching green. Didn't see in the letter. I mean, none of that seems relevant, but you might. It doesn't hurt to ask. I don't feel like he'll know anything about any of that.
So you won a lot of money, huh? Can I ask you more about it? Okay. Did I already ask about this? Probably. Okay, what about evidence? Did you know the grandpa? No. Where's stable? Gosh, you're annoying.
It's like, nope, I ain't seen nothing. I don't know nothing about nothing.
Oh, miss, if Stable was but a barber, he would not have a very good connection for he would not be a very good connection for me to have, now would he?
Oh?
What? Let's see. The card. Somebody was cheating, right? How many aces did it take you to get there? And how many aces did Tiny Paw think were in that deck? Now you look here. Tiny Paw is a mean-spirited, no-good, black-hating son of a bitch. He pays us pennies but wants us to be good and smile for him. Well, I am not having that, miss. No, I am not having that at all. Yes, I took him for a ride and I feel no remorse for it. In some ways, it is all part of the game. Oh, now, you would not tell him, would you? Nah, that's fine. I don't want you to get in trouble. Aha! Well, certainly, most certainly, what is it that you want? I was glad he knew the score. I want to know where Stable is. Stable was here, congenial and unhurried. Then he received a telephone call and said he had to check on something at his foreign racetrack. He told me to just sit tight until he returned, and here we are. Okay. You know, I bet he had no reason to cheat last night. Not the way Ellie kept distracting him. Yes, he was very distracted indeed. Ella Smith and Tiny Paul have something going on. That girl throws herself onto him like she'd throw water on a fire.
Or was it the other way around?
Yeah. Do you know where he is? No.
I'm just sitting in here mid-haircut without him here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I guess that's good for him. All right, bye-bye. Ooh, we can go here now. Yeah. The Tin Foreign racetrack had reopened the previous year with the help of millionaire Adolf Spreckles and some associates, one of whom was stable. Today, no races were ongoing, and the sheer size of the empty grounds and the grandstands were impressive. I hopped the locked turnstile and wandered the grandstands and some of the grounds, but all my searching turned up nothing and nobody, not even stable. I returned nearer the entrance to search for more clues. Oh boy. Wooden slats bordered the window to the old betting house. The Walker Otis measure of 1909 prohibited gambling on horses, which meant most racetracks shuttered, including the Tan Foreign. But Stable and a few other investors reopened the track the previous year, claiming to operate without taking bets. Yeah, sure. Empty boxes were thrown next to the old betting house. I'd spent some time rummaging through them, but found nothing of interest. I removed the trash bin's lid to let my hands play with something while my thoughts had time to form. But peering in, I saw the biggest break in the case thus far. An automatic pistol, 45 caliber!
Oh!
Have you come to watch the horses? Rumor says that running through fire will be the victor. Though at times it can be dangerous to put stock in rumors.
Right.
Hey, so we just found a gun. We just found a gun. I have no idea how or why that gun was placed in that receptacle, but I suppose it could be a gangster's weapon.
This guy's so cool as a cucumber.
I know. Whatever I said, he wouldn't admit anything else. Still, I knew I had him on the ropes and that I could get more out of him if I asked the right questions. He had admitted the gun could be the murder weapon, but I still don't know if he'd had the motivation or the opportunity to actually kill Green, and he still hadn't told me his real reasons for being at the racetrack. Okay. Let's do statements. Hey, so the boy that's sitting in your chair.
He cheated at cards? Not
Hmm.
interested, huh?
Why? He's just sitting there. Your boys found the murder weapon in the trash, then called you around to see what to do about it. Yes, he admitted. I was telephoned to look at the weapon. We were about to phone the police about it when I noticed you wandering the grounds. Why were you so interested in the Green case, and why is this gun here? Do you remember, Miss Malone, that Connor Green had already attempted to frame me? Once I had learned of his death, I thought that whoever had killed him would also try to blame me. I invited Carter for a trim in exchange for information about the murder, and I told my associates to watch for anything suspicious at the racetrack. As soon as the gun was found, they telephoned me, and here we are. Think what you want, Miss Malone, but I had no reason to kill Connor Green, and if you think otherwise, you are just playing into the game set up by the real killer. Yeah. Did you know that? Well, you are volunteering quite interesting information. I did not know that, but I thank you for it. That's interesting. Where were you? That is a late hour. Miss Malone, I am always fast asleep in my bed at that time of night. Alone? I would never lie to you, Miss Malone. Of course, it would just be as difficult for you to disprove my story as it would for me to prove it. And we live in a civilized nation that requires your proof, not mine. I assure you, I was at home asleep at that time. Nobody said you were out. Yeah, okay. Let's see. What's up with the boxes? Nothing. What's up with the old bedding house? What? This is your stable. A racetrack or whatever. I don't know. I don't feel like we can ask him about anything else.
Yeah. Maybe we go back and ask, what's her face about maybe she was, like, flirting with that guy.
Yeah, okay. Tin spoon. Hey, yeah. Still fidgeting. Hey, you flirting? Okay, he's right. I'm in love with Paul. That's no crime. She'd wanted to hide it. If the two of them ever broke it off, her career would be doomed. This won't get out on my account, but you have to tell me Tiny Paul's whereabouts. She sighed and gave me the address of a Pacific Heights apartment building. He lives in a penthouse on the top floor. Just don't tell him I told you. Thanks! Bye! Went to the Palace of Fine Arts. They were holding a guest gallery. My girl is a big Georgia O'Keeffe fan. Myself, I don't get all this new stuff. What's so hard about painting some wavy lines?
Wavy lines. Right.
Yep. Paul's building was still new, built only a few years earlier, but it was already a beacon of Pacific Heights, tall and proud above its surroundings. Its crisp vanilla interior was accented with gold, and its elevator was run by an equally immaculate operator. I rode it to the top floor bungalow that belonged to Tiny Paul. Hey, I'm just like in your apartment now. A hat? An empty gun holster. Light brown shoes. Wrapped bouquet of flowers. Vibrant yellow! Like the yellow chrysanthemums. I knew she told us that for a reason. I hope we wrote that down.
That would be frustrating if your character didn't write it down, but we remember. We're just like, but the flowers
Like,
are the
that
same
means
color.
she's having an affair. Yeah, that's his hat or coat at there. Okay. All right. Hey, bud. Took a century. His eyes eventually climbed to meet mine. Let's see. Did she say anything? Following her husband because she thought he was having an affair. Okay. But she was. Okay. Ooh. So you know the game. You did too? Early this morning, I went to, well, you don't need to know where. Anyhow, it's enough to tell you this. Green was pulling the bait and switch. He wanted to take our money and get out of the city. He had no plan to sell us any of the stuff.
Yup.
So yeah, I'm glad he got what's coming to him, but no, I'm not the one that plugged him. Yeah.
Okay.
Fair. Hey, what about Ella? You like her? Really? Smith is in love with Paul. Smith is beautiful, but she was Chinese, and Paul wouldn't sit well if rumors swirled about the two of them. Paul, is she lying to me? Paul sided with a no and followed with, it's just petting between us, nothing more. Petting is such a weird word.
It's like I hate it. I really hate it.
Can we talk about your apartment? Do you know he also faces death? And now he's a ghost here too. What do you want me to say? Hey, where were you? After the jazz stopped playing at 10, I went up to the pool room to shoot. Wait. What's her name said that she sang a solo at midnight.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone else said the jazz stopped playing at 10.
Oh.
Or maybe they sing after the jazz is over too.
Oh, maybe. I met with Redstone.
I think the whole band came in.
Met with Redstone at 5 in the morning. He hadn't slept. Okay.
Oh, whoa. He said he was sleeping all night. I ain't telling you that. Then why should I believe you at all? Believe what you want. I was in the pool hall when Green was shot. Okay. What is our country coming to? So many people owning firearms. Hey, but he was found really close. Oh, okay. Ugh, all right. Let's see. Evidence. You know someone was cheating? Oh god, no, we said we weren't going to tell him. Maybe I don't want to do that. Why weren't you there? Hey, who are the flowers for? Who are they for? My mother. Liar! Tiny Ball didn't strike me as a man who would buy a dozen flowers for his mother. But I can't contradict him. I guess I can contradict her. All right, Malone. I do carry a gun. but you're barking up the wrong tree. Lay off if you know what's good for you. You don't even know what my gun looks like. Do we know what his gun looks like? I keep my gun in that holster, and when I'm not at home, that holster stays on my person or in my jacket. What if I told you I lost it yesterday? How would you disprove that? Weak or not, it's what I'm telling you. What are you going to do about it? See, now I'm even more on board that his wife killed him and used his gun to do it because they were having an affair. And he's covered her.
That does make sense.
Hey, the hat at her house. First prophetic passwords. Well, I've got to play the part if I want to get into the best clip joints. What you been drinking? A man drinking himself into a stupor is no crime, or is it, Miss Detective? Alright. I think that's him. I want to go talk to Green.
Well, she hasn't even really talked to us except for after he died, ma'am.
Yeah. Okay.
We have lots to chat about.
Yeah. Let's see.
She's sleeping with Paul. Paul's gun is missing.
Someone close could snag his gun. Just said anybody in the billiards room could have taken his gun. I'd be crazy to try to take a gangster's gun. He'd have shot me with it first. I am not close, bitch.
Girl,
I know you are.
girl.
I know you are. Perhaps Paul would let you take his gun, or you could get to it without him noticing, and surely he wouldn't shoot you with it. She denied claims of just about every word in the thesaurus, but that face told me enough. Her and Tiny Paul were having an affair, which could have given her motive to kill her husband. Aha, look at that face. Got you. Can I just straight up ask about it? Or is she gonna... Okay. Alright. His gun is missing. He's glad he's dead. Okay. How you feel about that? Or maybe... The screen gave a simple shrug, her face devoid of any emotion. Hey, you been to his apartment? No. Okay, well... Maybe... Can we ask about this again? Maybe about his holster? Just anybody, yeah. She had access.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's coming together for her, man.
Yeah.
So she had motive and means. I just have to prove that she had the opportunity.
Well, it's like they said she was there at the beginning and end of the night.
I know, I wish we could, like, if she had written that down. Okay. Wasn't there somebody else we learned we could contradict? Oh, it was the guy for not sleeping.
Oh, yes. Stable.
You think he's back at his barbershop?
Probably. Well, maybe. I don't know.
Nope. Okay, sorry, BRB. Okay. Contradict. And then you met again early this morning. He said you looked ragged. Very well. I do admit that I spent yesterday searching for information on this case and that perhaps the search bled into this morning. In my situation, would you not also look for clues against Green, a man who had accused you of blackmail? Armed now with the knowledge that Stable had no alibi. However, in my search to clear my name, I did find a fact that might interest you, a fact that I had kept to myself, but if Paul wishes to lay claims at my feet, I might as well tell you. The Tin Spoon has a back exit. Patrons likely have no suspicion of it, but I am certain many of the staff know. They could enter and leave without anyone noticing. Never mind how you came about this information, just be thankful I am giving it to you. If you do not believe me, I encourage you to ask others about it. Yeah. Okay. So let's go ask everybody. Hey. He's up here. Did you know about this? It's a back exit. I've never heard of such a thing. Okay.
What?
Okay.
What do you mean?
Um, do you know about this? I think Fanny might want to know about that too. Oh, Tiny Paul and Little Fanny have something brewing as well, but you did not hear it from me. Yeah. Yeah, Fanny and Paul are lovers. Maybe I can just like directly ask her now and she'll say something about it. Yeah. Yeah, all right. Hello. How are we feeling about the many affairs this guy had?
I don't know anything about that. She said, I'm living in my own world about that.
For real. Is there no other way? Fanny and Paul are lovers. Yes. That's why I can't allow anybody to discover what Paul and I have been doing. If word gets back to Fanny, she'll hang me out to dry. Oh, she'll have to. Oh, well, word got back to her. Already. Sorry. Okay, there's a back exit. Yes, we do have one. It's behind the women's changing rooms. I can't imagine any of the men know about it. They would never be able to get back there without causing a riot. But the girls use it whenever we need to slip away from customers who are too eager. Hmm. Okay.
Okay.
I really feel like the case is building against her.
Yeah. Stuff is definitely starting to come back in my head about what happens at the end.
Hey, did you know there's a back exit? I think you're right. I slipped out at some point during the night. Oh, okay.
Oh, and to go where, might I ask?
To do what now? Oh, you forgot about that, huh? So Miss Green had no alibi. So she now has means, motive, and opportunity.
Yeah. She does.
Ooh, do I want to do this to him? Yes.
Yeah, I
I want
mean,
her to admit it. She denied my claims until she was blue, but I didn't believe her. An affair could be motive for murder. Oh my god, I kind of want to. What else do we even have to ask people about?
I don't know that you have much, honestly. I mean, I guess think through everybody else. Does anybody else have?
We haven't asked Paul about the back exit yet, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
But
it's if it was supposedly his gun that was used.
yeah, and it's his club, like he would know. Okay, I'm gonna ask him about that, and then I can't really think of anything else.
Hey, bud.
Oh, this one. Are you saying I did that? Sure, there's a cellar door we keep shut. I had no idea the girls were using it, but even if I'd wanted to get back out that way, I could never get back there without the crowd haggling me. Even I can't just run through the girls' changing room without causing a fuss. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, nobody else mentioned seeing him in there.
Yeah.
He was in the pool hall, right?
Can we ask about this? Bruh. I
He
guess we
said,
had
I
our.
don't know about that.
I don't think he liked the way it figured. He stared at me, eyes ablaze. That told me all I needed. Tiny Paul was Spanny Green's admirer. What are you saying? Just asking questions. Hmm. Yeah, it's like they're in on it together. Okay, I'm gonna go accuser. I think. What do you think?
I don't feel like I can say anything at this point.
Okay. Hey. Accusing someone of murder was certain to agitate them. I knew it was not something I should do lightly. They would refuse any further casual chats. But if I was confident that she'd killed Connor, including knowing the means, motivation, and opportunity for her to do so, then I knew I should accuse her. I mean, she's got all three. She's the only one that's got all three.
Yep. Yeah.
Legit. Fanny Green, you killed your husband. Stillness permeated the room as I spoke my words. I can prove your means, motivation, and opportunity for the murder. Fanny's face contorted like I'd first seen her in Southern Coffee. She barked at me. What are you saying? I loved my husband dearly. How dare you accuse me of murder? She huffed her way out of breath, which gave me a chance to prove it. Prove means... Let's see. Someone close could snag his gun.
Yeah. I think that's better than Paul's gun is missing.
Right. He says only someone close to him could grab it. Right. That you were close enough to Paul to take his gun. She screamed until she was blue, and I didn't believe her denial. An affair could give her enough motivation to kill her husband, and access to Paul's gun would give her the means. I had shown Miss Green that Paul's missing gun could have been the murdered weapon. Considering her affair with Tiny Paul, she also would have the perfect motive to kill her husband. I just needed to prove that Miss Green had the opportunity. The back exit. She also says it.
She has no alibi was on her list. I don't know if that's the one you want to click, but
Yeah, guess so. Admits that she stepped out. Okay, yeah. You admitted to be gone for parts of the night. That could have given you the perfect opportunity to murder your husband. It was clear now. Miss Green, you're the only one of my suspects with provable motive, means, and opportunity. You knew you had to leave your husband, you loved Paul, and as often happens, you began hating Connor because of it. So you tailed him to see what he was scheming. Maybe you could sink his plans and have the mob do your dirty work. Then you met me. You learned your husband had been receiving death threats, and you knew that was your play. If he died, police would blame it on the underground. So last night, after your singing, you called Connor to the Tin Spoon. You snuck out of the billiards room the back way, taking Paul's gun with you. That's when you shot him. She looked at me hotly, about to burst. But then she sighed and stared down at her feet. She began to cry. However many opiates were running through her blood, they had all lost their effectiveness. I put an arm around her as she wept. Connor had made my life miserable, she said between sobs. Look around this dump. That's how ruined I am inside. Oh, that manipulative little sneak. You're right, I hated him. It's why I started going with Paul in the first place. She balked at my surprise. Oh no, I never loved Paul. I wanted him to kill Connor. Oh. But after learning about Ella, oh, how could I convince Paul if he loved someone else? I had no way of leaving Connor. I slumped back to misery. What about a divorce?
it's
divorce.
The 20s, lady. Like, what are you talking
for
about?
Real.
What do you mean? What about divorce?
Connor would never give me that. Yeah, the man has to do that. They say we're emancipated, sure, but we still need our husband's permission to leave his home. I was the only good thing that bum owned, and he would never let go of me. That's why I was chasing him yesterday. If I could prove infidelity, I'd demand a split in court. No. I got all excited when I saw you standing in your doorway. She started breathing more heavily. I had to follow you to make sure, but I was certain I had my way out. Only it happened you were above board. You're a detective, and I was still trapped. After we met, I came home to find Connor waiting for me. He said we'd be leaving for St. Louis. She took a gasp of air and continued. Leaving everything I'd known for a place I'd never been with a man I didn't love. I couldn't do it, and I told him so. And then he struck me. She wiped away her tears, and with them came her blush and thick camouflage powder. A liver-colored spot the size of a silver dollar showed her cheekbone. Oh, no. He just marched out the door, and I didn't know what to do. And then you thought of Paul's gun, I concluded. That's right, maybe Paul wouldn't kill Connor, but I knew he carried a cannon, and I knew I could get to it. So you took Paul's gun and killed your husband. No, she said. No, that was my plan, but... She broke off her sentence with a sniff and started another. I went to Paul's apartment late in the afternoon and grabbed his pistol. Then I came back here. I sat in this chair, putting the gun in my hand, wondering if I would do it. That's when he came in. Your husband? No, a much kinder man. Oh, he listened so well. I even told him about... Oh my god, is it the bartender? I even told him about my plan. This other man, you knew him? She nodded a yes. He said he understood everything. He said he could frame the murder. He said not to worry. He took the gun. Oh, she cried, but I couldn't let him go through with it. You see, that's why I left the tin spoon last night, to stop him. That was when I met Redstone's stable. In response to my raised eyebrow, she explained, I only met him last night. I had no idea that he had anything to do with my husband until this morning. The police told me at the station that Connor had suspected Stable. But I knew instantly that he was a terrible man. A woman's intuition never lies. Stable talks like a snake, and he has looks to match.
Yeah, I mean, he acts
like
yeah.
100%. Yeah. So you were both searching for the same person last night? I asked. Yes, but he wasn't around. I think, she sobbed. I'm tired of this. Who is it? It's the owner of the hat, she said, pointing to it. It's Franklin. Dun, dun, dun. He took the gun from me yesterday. I was too dazed to argue. Nice story, but you still fit the bill just fine. Phyllis, even if I had the gun, How could I know where to plant it? I only met Stable last night, and I knew nothing about him. Franklin had known about the case from you, isn't that right? You're only telling this to me now? What's the big idea stringing me along? Phyllis, she said softly, Franklin did this for me. He saved me. If that awful man Stable has to take the fall so that Franklin can stay free, well... I shook my head and looked at her. If she was telling the truth, Stable could confirm it. If she was lying, I thought, what if she ran? Well, she would get stopped soon enough. Good looks can be a curse, and it would be a cinch to snatch her. Besides, with those opiates in her, she would have difficulty standing, let alone running anywhere. I gazed at her, and she understood what I was thinking. I'll be right here if you come back. I wondered why she would fabricate such a story if she knew she was stuck. Then I thought, what if it was the truth? Hold it!
Mm-hmm.
They all fit. Frankie had been infatuated with Miss Green, and he could have gone to visit her. He could have taken the gun he knew about Stable from when I told him of the case, and he could have planted it at his racetrack. Those facts might be explained away innocently, but it was the combination. Frankie was the only person with means, motivation, and opportunity. I stepped out of the cab, hoping Frankie could give me another explanation. The hitty hat.
Mm-hmm.
If he had any doubts, that look erased them. You killed Connor Green. I can't lie to you. My jaw began to quiver, either from sadness or anger. It was hard to be sure. Why get wrapped up in this, I asked. Does that dimpled girl mean so much to you? This will be a long story, he started. Seated as I was, I had to know why Frankie would kill my client. It's that sheet, he motioned to the newspaper flopped on the bar. 1887, the St. Louis Browns, my last good season. My career was ruined by Thomas Kinney.
I forgot about this.
Kinney was a mob. What's that?
I forgot about this element of
Yeah,
his motivation.
Baseball?
Yeah.
Kinney was a mob boss, you see. He ran St. Louis politics above ground and below. He was cruel to everyone, sure, but he had a special hate for blacks. In 1887, that hate came to baseball. One practice, a local kid comes up to the fence and calls Murray, our left fielder, over to him. He tells Murray that every Browns player has to sign onto a letter which says that we refuse to play against the Brooklyn Cubans, a colored team. The kid then runs off. We all knew who the orders had really come from. If I refused to ink it, Kinney's gang would run me out of baseball, or worse. But some of the best teammates and people I'd known over the years had been black. I was torn up about it. In the end, I guess I was just a kid who wanted to play. I didn't want trouble. I signed with the others. It was the worst decision I ever made, Malone. It's haunted me since. I started on the hooch, and I never played the same again. I became the booze hound of St. Louis in the dumps at every bar in town. But this louse had tales about old Thomas Kinney, and a way of telling them that kept the others interested. Maybe my rumors worked. Kinney lost the next election. Just a few weeks later, he died of tuberculosis. Kinney's partner, Tom Egan, blamed me for all of it. I knew I had to blow St. Louis, so I went to Philly, my hometown. I ran into my old pitching partner, Matt Kilroy, who had opened a bar. He invited me to run it with him, as long as I stopped drinking myself under his eye. I made it. I got sober by working in a speakeasy, if you can believe that. I even married Kilroy's sister and became stepfather to her 2 boys. Well, by then, Egan had renamed the gang, and Eden's rats had spread east. They came for me one night, and I barely ducked their spray. Lucky a cop was near his beat, or they would have circled around and finished the job. I had a great life in Philly, but I had to give it up. I couldn't put my new family in that danger. I fled out west, where I knew the rats didn't have a foothold. Philly was the second time those bastards ruined my life. And when you discovered that Green was part of Egan's rats, you wouldn't let them ruin you a third time. No, Malone, I could have run easy. My life out here ain't much. I have nobody here, really. Except you. Sure, I could flee somewhere else, but it's you. Egan's rats won't leave an end loose. If Green had reached St. Louis, they'd have come back and tied you up. I can't run from town to town, but I can't make you do that. I was the one who told you to take the case, remember? I had to stop them from hounding the rest of your life. I did this for you. Poetic Frankie, but this only proves he had no faith in me, just like Green, who hired me because he thought I wouldn't see through his scheme, or his wife, who was hoping I would gum up the works for the police. You thought I couldn't hold my own. I'm just some flapper playing in a man's world, isn't that right? I just wanted to protect you. Okay, he's just... I can protect myself, and without any murders, like... Yeah, but...
But did you?
You said this really nice thing, and you're like, how dare you? I suppose I wouldn't blame you for taking me in. No, I won't fight it if you want to drag me to the hall. But the police have stopped looking for a killer. If you'd let me, I'd keep running. It's up to you. No, I'm not going to arrest you. He sounds like a terrible human. He beat his wife. He faked his own death. He was racist and... yeah, no, I'm not gonna arrest you. I mean, obviously, I don't condone solving things with murder.
Yeah.
But it sounds like they were gonna murder him.
Yeah.
And maybe us. So.
It's true. It's true.
Is that what you did the first time?
I don't remember. I'm looking right now. Let's see. It seems I was worried it was going to make me arrest one of them between him and her.
Oh.
But I did not. I did not arrest him. Yeah. That's a fun, quick little game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
really
like
team. Those credits were really short.
Yeah.
Oh? Asked me to sign for a package and handed me an envelope in a brown box. Inside were Frankie's scribbles, only slightly more legible than hieroglyphics. Blowing the berg. Too much baggage around here to keep the sack going. Went back to the missus for my hat. Spotted this. She agreed you should have it. Hope it serves you well. You become one hell of a detective. Good knowing ya. Aww.
He's so
The
nice.
final two letters are obscured by a small wet blotch. Thanks for everything, Frankie. A drop fell on the name Frankie, creating my own small wet blotch. I turned to the box and removed one side of the tape from the cardboard. Rolled in a loose ball inside the box was Lewis's gray coat. Aww. The trench coat suited me. The innocent question was about to lead to a lot of trouble. Second game?
Second game? Yeah. Did they make a sequel to this? I actually have no idea. Let me look. It's the only thing they have in the Steam store right now.
This isn't that old. It's in like 3 years or something.
2018.
Oh, just kidding. It's pretty old. 8 years.
Yeah. There is no direct sequel. The developer has not announced a continuing story for private investigator Phyllis Cadence Malone. Yeah, so maybe they sort of fizzled out. They just left it open.
Yeah.
Just in case. But
Oh,
yeah,
I enjoyed that.
yeah, I'm glad. I remember really enjoying it as well, and it's just like a nice quick one. So
Yeah.
yeah. Thanks for playing, and thanks for hanging out, everybody.
Yeah, we'll be back next week.
Yeah, see you next week. Take it easy.
Bye.